called On the Brink. It was written by Hank Paulson, the Bush Secretary of the Treasury. Hank was in Omaha a few weeks ago and did a conversation with Warren Buffett. And here's what Warren Buffett said. And I don't know about you, but I pay close attention to what Warren Buffett says. He said, Ben Bernanke, Hank Paulson, Timothy Geithner, and Sheila Bair. And by the way, you KU people, Sheila Bair is a graduate of your fine institution. Buffett said those were the right 4 people to be in charge. And Mr. Geithner, who catches all kinds of hell, is basically carrying on Hank Paulson's policy. And the American people have no idea how close we came to going over the edge. In fact, Hank says in his book that we were within 72 hours of the banking system totally collapsing. If that doesn't scare the hell out of you, you can't be scared.
That was Dr. Barry Flinchbaugh from Kansas State University. After his speech to the FEMA group, that's the Farm Equipment Manufacturers Association, we had the opportunity to sit down and ask him several questions about this and other things and why this whole agricultural world is important to you. Let's listen in.
Well, first and foremost, at the present time, is political stability, political cohesiveness. A strong economy depends on a stable political environment so that the entrepreneur can plan. The best example is that small business people are not investing as much as people think they should. They're not hiring. And why would they do that? They have no idea what their health care costs are going to be. They have no idea what energy policy is going to be and what that can cost them. They don't know what the tax structure is going to be. And so I would argue the American economy is out there ready to take off. That the growth figures that are occurring show that. But what's slowing it down is Washington and their inability to basically agree on anything. It's almost as bad as they can't agree on the time of day. And that is slowing this recovery. We desperately need a plan developed to get this deficit under control. That Congress couldn't create a commission, bipartisan, to look at the deficit. The president had to do it himself. And he made it bipartisan, and he put 2 people in charge of it that have a great track record. Former Senator Simpson from Wyoming and Erskine Bowles, who was Bill Clinton's chief of staff. But the Congress will ignore it. And how do you invest long term when you have to worry about whether the U.S. government's going to lose its bond rating? And the way to not lose our bond rating is put a plan in place to bring down this deficit. Now, having said that, I supported very much stimulating the economy 18 months ago. But now is time to get a plan in place, announce it, and make it stick of how we're going to get out of this.
And what 2 things do you think have to happen to get us out of this? As uncomfortable as that may be.
We're going to pay more taxes, and we're going to have less government services. The problem is the American people, through their elected representatives, have asked for more and want more than they're willing to pay for. And so they're passing it on to their grandkids. America's grandkids ought to absolutely be furious with Grandma and Grandpa. And we refuse to face reality. And a small bite of the bullet now will do wonders down the road.
Let me ask you about the politics of division today. And you alluded to it about Congress not being able to get along with each other, and one side rankles the other side. Talking heads on both sides of the aisle spew all kinds of falsehoods as truth. What's driving this?
Well, the American people are severely divided from a value system standpoint. And at the same time, they're also complacent. My moderate Republican friends just constantly complain about the right wing of their party. Yet the right wing works. And talking heads who can make money off of this are fueling the fire. And the moderates complain. And they don't get out there and dig in. And the same is true on the Democrat side. We used to have the slogan, my country right or wrong, now it's my party right or wrong. Harry Truman used to say the only thing new in this world is the history we haven't learned. Well, if you read the history books, you will discover that all big major changes, like healthcare, if it's going to work and it's going to stick, it has to be bipartisan. And I would submit that the president tried that. And he was overruled by the Congress of his own party. And so people say that the Congress reflects society. Well, society is severely divided. But most of us are centrists, and we don't have representation. The Congress is much more radical on both sides than the general public.